And you could tell they were real soulmates. You know, when Sharon talks about Ozzy, he's the light of her life.
He doesn't want Coldplay to become synonymous with cheating spouses.
AI casting Love Island.
He sounds really, really good.
He's being a bit more cocky. I'm hoping he has a bit more chat.
Moni May, your life is perfect. This is Showbiz Fix, where the Sun Showbiz team gives you the inside track on our biggest celebrity scoops and lay out the lowdown on everything you're loving this week. We're going to be remembering Ozzy Osbourne, chatting Coldplay and that jumbotron scandal, plus I've been chatting to two absolute A-listers. But first, just 2 weeks ago, we sat here on Showbiz Fix with Ellie Henneman and spoke about how Ozzy's health seemed back on track. Then on Tuesday, we heard the devastating news he had passed away. Howell, what do we know about Ozzy's last days?
So the nice thing is that he got to have that farewell concert just 17 days before he died. So he played to thousands of fans in Villa Park. He had that special moment that he really wanted to have, that last performance on stage. Then he was back in the UK. You know, they'd been trying to fly him back to the UK for quite a few years, but his health hadn't really allowed it. He managed to get back to the home in Buckinghamshire where, you know, they'd been living way before they moved to LA. And he was surrounded by Sharon and 4 of his kids at home on Tuesday when he passed away. We also know that an air ambulance was called. It flew out and arrived at the property on Tuesday morning, and they were there for about 2 hours. And then, you know, it was, sadly announced that Ozzy had passed away. But, you know, at least I think it's just really great that he got to have that final performance that, you know, was so special to him. He really made a point over quite a few years about how he was desperate to get back on stage, and he knew that there was going to be this one last performance. And I think he was really holding on to do that show, you know. Yeah,
absolutely. And he had that lovely moment with Kelly, obviously getting engaged backstage, which was just, I mean, being there for that would have been really special for him as well, wouldn't it?
Definitely. I mean, I interviewed Sharon Osbourne a few months ago, and I know that she was very much like by his side. They'd had lots of ups and downs. He famously had an affair in sort of 2016, but they had really rebuilt their marriage. And I know that she was at his side throughout all of those final months and leading up to the show. And I was like, what's the secret to your relationship? And she said, our love is stronger than ever. And I think that it's nice that in those final years, he really did have the support of his family, and he'd found that lasting happiness with Sharon, who'd obviously been by his side for several decades as his manager originally. But I think he was happy.
Yeah.
And you could tell they were real soulmates. You know, when Sharon talks about Ozzy, it's, you know, he's the light of her life. And yeah, I spoke to her when the Villa concert was announced, the Back to the Beginning concert earlier this year. And she was just so excited about it because she knew how much it meant to him. And because it meant so much to him, it meant so much to her. So I know that she'll obviously be absolutely devastated. But it will be such solace to them that he got to do that show.
Yeah, and what an absolute show it was. He didn't limp out, did he? He went out in an absolute blaze. So, oh gosh. Well, another gig that everyone has been talking about for a completely different reason is Coldplay. I'm obsessed with this. So this is obviously that couple who were caught cheating on the jumbotron, camera scanning round. It feels like it's this year's version of, do you remember The Dress? And it was like, is it white and gold or blue and black that everyone was talking about? And the internet has gone wild. What's the new line on this, Hannah? How are the couple? What are we saying?
Well, they've definitely gone to ground. The CEO has quit his job. And I think, you know, the families involved with both of these cheating parties are starting to feel the pain. And I think there's a feeling that the memes on the internet, the copycat jokes have got a little bit too far. I mean, I've definitely liked and laughed at several.
You're only human, Hannah.
I think Coldplay, Chris Martin, frontman, is now thinking, oh God, this isn't what my gigs are about. He's all about love and positivity.
But he has made some jokes about it himself. Is he now thinking?
I think he doesn't want Coldplay to become synonymous with cheating spouses. I think he's sort of he hopes that it will all move on and die down, but it has become, a very strange kind of Coldplay moment in their history.
I feel like it's the most interesting thing that's ever happened at a Coldplay gig.
Oh, brutal.
No, Coldplay are from my hometown, Exeter, so I'm Coldplay till I die. But I mean, that's the other thing. People are now like taking the mickey out of Coldplay music.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's very off-brand for Coldplay as well. I mean, they are so wholesome. They really are unproblematic kings, aren't they? To have this scandal, which is kind of involving them, but kind of not, is kind of wild, Especially if you're like any other act, it would make sense. For it to be at a Coldplay concert, it's just wild.
I love that it's now got to sort of like peak conspiracy theory where they wanted to be caught out, and Chris Martin was involved in it and arranged the cam just so that they could have this play out. And I'm like, guys,
surely no one's that fame hungry, right?
Accidents can happen, and this indeed is one. Well, I mean, will this be the end of jumbotrons?
I mean, I feel like it's made them more popular. They're very much an American thing. I've never seen them at a UK concert. Have you? I hope they start in the UK.
Occasionally, I feel like they do them at UK concerts if it's like an American act. I feel like it's more of a sporting event thing usually. They do them at like the basketball or the baseball or
the kiss cam,
one of those sports. But yeah, it's just that, I mean, I do feel sorry for everyone involved, because what a way to be caught out. Like, you would never think that just when they were going to that Coldplay concert last week, they could never have known about the complete catastrophe that was going to, swallow them up.
I just think, devil's advocate, they would have known that camera was roaming around and showing scenes. Just don't be cuddling right on the edge. The arrogance of it, that's what it is for me. Thinking they could get away with it.
Did you see as well that Liam Gallagher then said on stage at one of the Oasis shows the other night, he was like, don't worry, we're not trying to catch anyone out. We're not going to be using a jumbotron on you.
Oh, that's such a shame. I feel like that's way more around for Oasis to be using a jumbotron, but...
God, the sights you'd probably see on that jumbotron at an Oasis show. Jeez.
I know. Well, Hannah, you've been to one of the Oasis shows. You were at the first night in Cardiff.
Yeah. So was Hal. He was there with his fam. I was
were
there
all
working.
there.
Yeah. But no, it was really magical. I feel we hadn't seen Liam and Noel together until that moment when they walked out on stage. So it really was kind of like, will they, won't they? I know that obviously people have bought tickets that signed up to this world tour, but it still really felt like there was some question in the air. But yeah, they were amazing. I thought like Liam sounded brilliant. It's one of the best gigs I've ever went to in my life. All of their family, their kids were there, loads of celebrities, Danny Dyer, Cara Delevingne, Rob Brydon, all the Welsh celebrities were there. So yeah, it was brilliant.
You're like me, Hannah. Obviously, Oasis was like our era. So I guess, how did it feel as someone sort of revisiting like all of that nostalgia as well?
It was hugely nostalgic, especially hearing Liam sing Wonderwall. I mean, that was one of the first cassette tapes. I don't know if you remember those relics that I bought. And I think that it really, it really did bring up loads of sort of teenage memories. And I know that, I mean, there hasn't really been a bad word said about any of their gigs thus far.
No, flawless. But we have got London coming up. So the first one, it's 5 nights. So Friday. So tomorrow's the first one.
Tomorrow's the first one. And I think that they're expecting lots of VIPs. That Kate Moss might be going. We haven't seen any Beatles yet. Will one of the Beatles go and see them play? Maybe the Beckhams will be there. I think that there's celebrity access for all of the gigs so far. I mean, we've had like all of Man City at the Manchester one. So I definitely think we'll see lots of A-listers.
And you're going to be there?
I'm going.
Yeah. Is there going to be anything new about the gigs? We know that they've not changed the set list yet, but quite often these acts, when they come to London and do Wembley, they add in a surprise guest or that kind of thing. What do you think?
I don't think we're going to be seeing any surprise guests at Wembley. I mean, I think that there's lots of questions about Liam's banter on stage. They've kept it really safe so far. He hasn't said much, but we love the frontman bravado that Liam brings. So I'm hoping now he's settled into it. He's being a bit more cocky. I'm hoping he has a bit more chat.
I do feel like that first night in Cardiff, every eye was on them. The whole world's media was focused on it. And, it's been a long time since they were on stage. So I reckon as much as he has that bravado, he would have been a little bit nervous, you know. He probably wouldn't want to admit it. But I do think you're right. Like, now that they've settled into it, they're probably like, okay, yeah, we can do this. We're going down well. We've had the good reviews. Hopefully they'll, you know, settle into it, relax into it, and they'll be a bit more jokey on stage. And it would be nice to see them sort of interacting with each other a bit, Noel and Liam, because, you know, that's the sort of like magnetic relationship that everyone is obsessed with. That's why, you know, there's so much interest because of that relationship. So if you saw any of that on stage, I think that would be really nice for the fans.
Yeah, and it looks like they're still getting on. That was the big question.
I mean, it seems that it's almost like written into their contract that as soon as the gig finishes, Liam has a getaway car literally waiting for him under the stage that he gets in and leaves the venue. I know after the first night, I spoke to Lennon Gallagher, who's Liam's son with Patsy Kensit, and he was like, yeah, Dad goes straight back to the hotel. Like, so it's very much like no after parties, no room for them getting wasted and falling out. It feels very calm and controlled. I know that Liam's been drinking alcohol-free beer. I saw on stage he was drinking some apple cider drink, I think.
Apple cider vinegar,
yeah.
I think, yeah.
Oh, so disgusting, but very good for his voice, apparently. So I think they're very much on their best behaviour so they can get through these shows. I mean, we're really only at the very beginning of it. They've obviously got loads more to go. I revealed a few weeks ago that at the end of their last run of the Wembley gigs in September, they're going to have a massive London party to celebrate, but they then play abroad back in October. So they're not going to kind of go off the rails anytime soon.
And to be fair, you can tell Liam's been looking after his voice because he does sound the best he's sounded in years and years. He sounds really, really good. So he's got to be looking after himself. And I feel like that must be his own self-preservation, being like, get that car, get me out of there as soon as possible. I want to be tucked up in bed by 11 o'clock, you know?
And what's really interesting is his fiancée, Debbie Gwyther, who's on his management side, she's also right by his side, a bit like Sharon and Ozzy, actually.
Aww.
Like, she jumps in the gig with him. She almost walks him on stage. I feel that she's really kind of, you know, the backbone to him. What's also quite strange is that Meg Matthews has been going to all of the gigs. That's Noel's first wife and Anae Gallagher's mum. But she's sort of very much back in her kind of Primrose Hill roadie era.
The glory days.
Yeah.
I love that. So you were mingling in Cardiff afterwards, weren't you?
Yeah.
You chatted with Lennon. Any other goss from that kind of side?
I spoke to Meg, and I mean, there's clearly no bad blood between her and Noel, even though some of the songs he said he wrote about her afterwards, he actually didn't write about her. But I saw her singing along. She was with pals. She didn't look sad. And I think that, you know, this is as much her legacy, really, because she was quite a big part of the Oasis kind of entourage back in the day, in the 90s. She was synonymous with the band. So yeah, I mean, in terms of gossip, I mean, there were people partying late, but it definitely wasn't the Gallagher brothers.
Yeah.
But Anaïs has been there every night of the tour, I think, as well, Noel's eldest daughter. And I saw on TikTok her saying that she's completely lost her voice because she's been singing so loud.
Oh.
So, I mean, that's testament to how much the actual Gallagher family love the music as well.
Yeah, well, fair. They're only human. I do have a theory, though, like you say, now that they've got those gigs out the way, they're feeling in their groove, you know, will things become a bit looser, like you say, in London? More famous people there, bigger parties afterwards.
I can't see it happening. I think Liam's wanted this reunion for so long. He's got such safe hands around him. I can't see him going off the rails. And Noel also just seems very calm, very laid back. Like, I've partied with Noel like years ago where he's been wasted and he likes to go out and have a drink. He doesn't seem to be doing it either.
On the Sexies.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I remember once at a BAFTA after party, it was a few days before the Brits, and he revealed who like the icon winner was. It was David Bowie at the time, and I think the Brits actually had to like give us another story, so we didn't do it in the paper because he obviously shouldn't have revealed it. But he likes to get kind of loose-lipped and wild.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's not doing any of that. He's being very well behaved.
Well, look, I think it's going to be one to watch. Can't wait for it. I think that we'll finally get the answer to the question of whether all of those boxes are going to be filled with influencers that only know Wonderwall. So,
as long as we don't see anyone shazamming the songs, that's because someone was famously seen doing that at the first gig.
Yeah, that was for Bittersweet
sacrilege.
Symphony when Richard Ashcroft was on supporting. If you don't know Bittersweet Symphony, you should not be at any gig involving Britpop.
Outrageous behaviour. Funny, actually, speaking about, you know, the old days of showbiz when people, you know, went out and, you know, what happened. I actually had a chat with two mega names this week, saying this as a super fan, Kerry and Katie Price.
Are they the A-listers you tease?
Yeah.
I suppose they're A-listers in British hun culture. Yeah.
So look, here's my point. I think they both very readily admit that they have done things in their life that, you know, aren't great and they've been punished for. But they're still in the spotlight because those women work hard. And who of that era is still out there doing it? Showbiz has completely changed since that era, hasn't it? You know, and I had a really interesting chat with them about that. And one of the things that they said is, you know, like, it's just not as fun as it used to be. Like now you go to parties and obviously, you know, they're mums of many kids, as they said, 47 and 44. And, you know, they're not going out in the same way that they did, obviously. But they're like, no, you go to parties now and people are on their phones and they take their pictures and then they go home. No one's falling out of nightclubs anymore, are they?
What are they doing together then? Why are they? Because they were on I'm a Celebrity together like 20 years ago. I remember watching that series.
Yeah, so basically they are going on a sort of speaking tour. It's an evening with Katie Price and Kerry Katona. They're going all over Stevenage, Clacton, Kettering.
Amazing.
But like when you sit with them, that friendship is so real. They finish each other's sentences. Their love language for each other is obviously touch. You know, they're so comfy together. And I just sort of sat there and was like, they're very welcoming, you know, warm, one of the gals. But we actually played a really fun game with them, which I think they enjoyed because they've probably over the years had every kind of press interview, haven't they? You know, what's going on with this, that man, this scandal. So we just played Katie versus Kerry.
Love that.
And I asked them questions like who's the funniest, who has the better wardrobe. But things really took a turn when I asked who's the better singer.
Oh.
And Kerry said...
Oh, God, I forgot Kerry was in Atomic Kitten, wasn't she? I was like, does Kerry sing? I forgot.
know?
Of course she sings.
Funnily enough, and this cracked me up. So Heidi and Princess, so Kerry's daughter Heidi and obviously Katie's daughter Princess, really good friends, Bezies, similar age. And... Princess was round at Kerry's and Kerry was singing and Princess was like, oh, you're a really good singer, Kerry. And Kerry was like, yeah, I was in a band. And she was like, oh, I can always forget that. Yeah. And you just did the same thing.
I was like, what?
Sorry, Keza. Yeah, but Kerry actually said Katie's a better singer. And I was like, that's surprising. And then Katie burst into song. And we've all seen the Eurovision, A Whole New World with Peter. Katie Price can actually really sing.
What did she sing? What song did she
just
sing
came
to
out
you?
with a riff.
She serenaded you.
I was so impressed, and I'm really hoping. Obviously, we'll, you know, not hoping, but we will put this clip out there because I was just like, Katie Price can really sing, guys.
Oh my God, you could start her new career.
Is this your campaign for Katie Price to actually do Eurovision 2026?
Guys, I think with the right coaching and the confidence and all that kind of thing, she would probably win for us because remember Monday, amazing singers, but Katie Price, I was like, wow, girls got pipes. So here we go. I obviously asked them who has the best surgeon. Both of them famously up front on that. And then I asked them who had the best wedding dress. Both of them obviously famously married a few times. And they said that actually they should probably set up a wedding dress shop because they've both got so many. So,
I mean, I'm interested to know who had the better surgeon.
well, I'll tell you what, Al, maybe you should just watch my little clip and find out.
I will do.
Get those views up.
Can't wait to sing. This is my moment. See, I was so desperate to join in, but I daren't.
Anyway, so more to come on that from those gals, but great fun, lovely afternoon for me. Can't really call it work, can we? Right, should we move on to Love Island?
Okay, so you have a lot of views on Love Island this series, right?
As always, yeah. So I think that the thing that's really piqued my interest this week is they have put Megan and Blue back in. So original Islanders. Megan's the one that we all said looked like Maura Higgins. Blue was the lad who went out very early, a bit forgettable. Not quite sure why he's back, to be fair. Sorry, Blue. But viewers are up in arms about this because they voted Megan out. So this was one of the moments this series where they could have their say. Voted Megan out. They hated how she dealt with Tommy. So he was the nation's sweetheart at that point. She dumped him. She's back. They all say, this is a democracy. We voted for her out and you have put her back in. Absolutely up in arms. So I did my due diligence here and I went and had a look at the terms and conditions of the Love Island vote.
Amazing.
Here we go. The producers of the programme may, in their discretion, reintroduce an islander seen in earlier stages of the competition who was previously evicted. The programme producer's decision will be final.
I mean, it's always a controversial one. I do remember, was it on Big Brother once where Nikki Graham went back in? I might be making this up. There was definitely one where someone went back in, and I think it might have been Nikki on one of the series she did. And the thing is, I was just like, yeah, great, because she's entertaining. And that's clearly what the producers are thinking. They're like, okay, we want someone here who's going to spice things up again. She was great. Let's just get her back in.
And they've done it before, haven't they? They actually did do it with Muggy Mike, and they've done it in other series. So I feel that they know what they're doing, and they do almost just make it up as they go along, don't they? Like they are always just changing the rules, putting X's in. But you're right, she was entertaining.
And it is at the perfect time because she left in the middle of a real romance with Connor, the rugby lad from Ireland. And he said, will you wait for me? And she was like, I will wait for you. She left. And then the next day he was cracking on with someone else. So she had stuff to say. And funnily enough, Connor now just finds himself single because Shakira has finished things. So he is buzzing because he thinks, brilliant, the girl I really fancied is back. She should have really held him to task a bit more, in my opinion. But, you know.
Will they get back together then, do you think?
Absolutely. So what we're hearing already from the villa is right back where they left each other.
And do you think
Sparks
the public
flying.
will change their opinion of her? Because obviously if they voted her out before, can she actually
Well, this
turn
is
it around?
the thing. She's going back in with all of this knowledge of what the public didn't like about her and how she should now act. And this is where all the fakery comes in. And we've seen quite a few circumstances of that this series. But I always say, who cares? If it's entertaining, does it really matter? But public say no. Speaking of faking it, though, just hot off the press, ITV have been speaking. It's the half-yearly financial results. And as part of this, one of the bosses, Carolyn McCall, has talked about how they are now using AI in production and particularly in the casting for Love Island.
Wow.
That's wild. And how are they able to do that?
Yeah, so she says AI is being integrated into everything we do. And she talked about how a smart editing assistant tool was used in the casting process to streamline everything. Obviously, they're making a lot of job cuts as well over at ITV. AI casting Love Island.
Do you think that's like AI going through the CVs, and if it doesn't say like 10 out of 10, sexy, your type on paper, then they get rid of them, you know?
What do you know what I was thinking? The Love Island starter pack for me on an Instagram profile is, have they got that picture at Ocean Beach? Has the girl posed in a bikini and fluffy boots on a ski slope?
Yes.
So maybe this is what the AI is doing.
Oh, I was thinking maybe it's like looking for certain kind of body types as well, like ensuring that, you know,
Hip to waist ratio.
yes, exactly, big lips, I don't know, smooth foreheads. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
people do say they do have a lot of identikit kind of looks in Love
Yeah.
Island.
Like, where is our cheeky chappy from Essex? Our girl from Ireland?
Paint by numbers.
Oh my good, and even more so now, paint by AI. So wild. Well, someone who knows all about the inner workings of Love Island is Samira Mighty.
Yes. So I spoke to Samira last week. She was on the series back in 2018, which is wild now. I feel like that was a very memorable series for me. I love that one. But she is now a recording artiste. She's a pop star. And she's just dropped this amazing new song called Cardio, which I really recommend you listen to if you haven't already. It's a big summer, sexy banger. And I had a little chat to her about her music and what she's been up to. And she said that she's in her party girl era. So there's a little clip here. We can see what she had to say.
Oh.
It's all kind of the kind of London, like club girly, and all that kind of like party girl kind of hyped music, which is like my favorite. And I think, you know, with like stuff like Charlie XCX or like Brat and Shy Girl and stuff at the minute, it's just it's so now. And everyone's just in their party girl era, aren't they, really?
Yeah. So have you been doing lots of market research, going to parties and raves to make sure you're on the right track?
Well, you know, I'm kind of like that kind of girly anyway. Like, people don't really know that about me. I like to dance and not like, you know, standing holding champagne. Like, I like to get dirty and dance. I mean, yesterday I went to Kensington Roof Gardens, which was cool. Couple of celebrities there.
Does it go down at Kensington Roof Gardens?
You know what? It kind of does. It was giving like, well, yesterday it was giving like I was in some sort of London, like England movie, kind of strange arty people kind of going crazy. I was like, okay, like I think Drake was there yesterday. Like it was, yeah, it was full on. But Yeah, I've been doing a lot of raving, a lot of market research to be the ultimate party girl.
I wanted to touch on Love Island as well, because obviously the series is on at the moment in the UK. And I haven't been watching it, but the chat this year is that there's a lot more sex chat and a lot more like sort of sex on TV and that sort of vibe. And I feel like your series, there wasn't so much of that at
No,
the time. Are you kind of glad that it was that way, or would you have preferred to have had it a bit more racy?
well, I've only been catching up on TikTok with this season as well because a girl's out. A girl is out. Do you know what I mean? I'm in the club. I can't sit and watch it every night, but I've definitely seen clips where there's a lot more intimacy and a lot more just like, I mean, it's a very sexual season, isn't it? Um, but I feel like it was quite nice on my season that that was kept like behind the scenes. Like, I feel like, the show isn't just about sex, it's also about like the connections. But at the same time, that if you're going to throw a whole load of young people in a villa who are all attracted to each other, everyone's going to have sex. So I don't really know, you know what I mean? So, but it's fine that they show it, but I like that my season was like that.
I completely agree about this series being the most sexual yet. Like, they are all at it. We're not seeing all of it. And, I feel like I sit here every week and sound like an absolute perv talking about this, but they're all at it and good for them.
As they should be.
As they should be. Right. I want to hear what you guys have been binning and binging this week. How do you want to go first?
So I'm very lucky, and I have just got back from Italy, and I went to see the one and only Jennifer Lopez, who is just such an icon. She's a superstar. She's a legend. I am binging Jennifer Lopez this week. Every song, so many hits. She's incredible on stage. If I could just watch that same show over and over, I would.
Also, it was her birthday, wasn't it?
She's 56 today on Thursday. And when I tell you she's 56, it blows my mind. If you watch even a clip of this show, you will not believe that she's 56. She is moving like a 21-year-old. And I was just stood there watching her show thinking, she is 7 years younger than my mum. And love you, mum. I don't think... if I can move like that at 56, I will have done some miracles to my body. I can't move like it now.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And just the hits, she's on top form. She was just fabulous. So I'm binging everything to do with Jennifer Lopez.
Fair. Fair. Absolutely. And you are binning.
I am binning all of the rumors and conjecture and fake news around Devil Wears Prada 2, which sounds very niche. But I don't know if you saw these photos that came out this week. It was on the set of Devil Wears Prada 2. And we had Miranda Priestley, full character, strutting across some place in America, some street. She looked fab, back in character, fab. But then since then, every single pop star, actor, whatever going has been linked to this show. So yesterday I had about 4 people message me saying, oh my God, is Adele in Devil Wears Prada 2? Is Dua Lipa in Devil Wears Prada 2? Because everyone is just posting random pictures of Dua Lipa walking down the street saying, Dua Lipa spotted on the set of Devil Wears Prada 2. Adele spotted filming for Devil Wears Prada 2. None of these people are in this film.
Well, I guess if they walked down a street in New York, you could quite easily say that they were in this film.
Oh, well, some of these photos are from like 2021, but they're just sharing them now saying, hey, and I think it would be a genius move for them to get loads of celebrity cameos in. Yeah. Like they could clearly do it, couldn't they, if they wanted to?
Yeah.
I just think about the Absolutely Fabulous movie a few years ago where they had every celebrity going was in that film. They could do it if they wanted to, but there's just so many fake news rumors around it. And I'm like over it because people keep messaging me saying, is Adele in it?
Because you're the Oracle, Hal. You always know what's going on. Hannah, what are you binging this week?
So this week I am binging Adidas wear ahead of the Oasis gig. So another thing about the Oasis gig is that all the merch is their old school Adidas looks. So now when you go, it's a sea of Adidas. So I'm going to go full 90s like bucket hat, all the kind of anorak gear, all the gear, no idea. So yeah, I'm totally binging that.
You're going to cosplay as an Oasis fan.
Yes.
But you are an Oasis fan.
I am an Oasis fan. I'm going to lose the pint of urine though, because I feel like that's too far. If someone throws any urine on me at Wembley tomorrow night, I'm not going to be happy.
That is not on brand for Hannah Hope, guys.
Even with a
Absolutely
bucket
not.
hat on, you do not want that coming down on you.
Feel free to throw Prosecco at her though.
Yeah, love that.
And what are you binning?
So there's Celebrity Shark Infested Waters, which is this new ITV show. I had such high hopes for it, but I feel that they're longing it out over maybe like 5 or 6 episodes when it really should have just been 1 hour-long episode, and they should just get on with it.
Yeah, it's not done very well in the ratings either.
We really just want to see, a celebrity have a little nibble. We want to see Dougie point to lose a toe or something. We need that. That's the TV, really, isn't it? I love you, Dougie, but we need some drama. We need some action. We can't have it an hour every week, just them swimming around.
Yeah.
Just go to the leisure centre.
I think they really wanted there to be this like ecological message behind the show, didn't they? And I think they needed to decide, is this like a David Attenborough documentary thing which has got some celebs in, or is this like a reality show? Because they're trying to do both.
Trying to do too much, and it's not really landing.
No, like they barely scraped 1 million for episode 2, so it's a shame. I am binning Molly May.
Ooh.
Oh, she won't like that. She'll be up in your DMs.
I know, and I'm ready for the Facebook army to come for me.
But why?
Look, right, okay. So she's a nice girl. She's worked really hard. She deserves all of her success. On the other day on her YouTube, she said that she has not done one fun thing this summer, and she was having a moan about it. Moni May, your life is perfect. You are on holiday all the time. You can go and do anything fun that you want. You have the money and time at your fingertips. Go and do something fun. My mum always says, only boring people get bored. And I'm sorry, Molly, I'm sick of hearing you talk about how you never have any fun, because I'm sorry, that Dubai holiday looked fun.
That's an insane thing to say. Not one fun thing the whole summer. I mean, if I was living a life where I hadn't done a single fun thing all summer, I would be reevaluating all of my life choices.
Well, A, go do something about it, and B, stop moaning.
And
She is
take
very
joy
beige
in-
though, isn't she? Like she
takes-
only wears beige.
Take some joy in the little things. She went to Wimbledon. Like, how could you not find that fun?
Some people's dream. I'm sorry. It's rude. It's entitled. Sorry, Molly. No. Binned. Binging. Oh, I'm obsessed with this. Netflix do crime documentaries so well, and they have dived into the case of Amy Bradley. So Amy Bradley went on a cruise ship holiday with her family and disappeared into thin air. So the theories on this is, did she jump? Did she fall? Was she abducted? Sex trafficking, or did she disappear voluntarily? And nobody knows, because a body has never been found, and there have been multiple sightings of someone that could be Amy since, which is why this is such an incredible watch. Because when you watch these crime documentaries where there is a body and we know what happens, it's interesting, it's juicy, but we know the ending. But this still doesn't have an ending. There's so many twists to this. There's, for example, I'll just leave you with this one morsel. Her family have set up a website to sort of track what's going on. 20 years ago, this all happened. And on Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, and birthdays, the same IP address in Barbados visits that website for a good 5-10 minutes. And everyone is convinced this is Amy, looking to see the latest updates from the family. They're putting photos up there now, almost for Amy to look at, but there's a reason why she can't make herself known. It's amazing. You've got to go and watch this documentary.
I'd never heard of this case before, but then I did actually see the trailer for this, and I thought, wow, that looks really compelling.
Yeah.
But I do wonder now, Netflix is so big, so many millions of people will watch this. There might actually be some sort of resolve from it. And I feel like that is amazing. If I am listening to a true crime podcast that doesn't have, an end to it, but they're investigating it, and then, sometimes 2 years later, there's an update and there's been a movement, they found something, someone's been arrested. It's so exciting. So I feel like this could really be an amazing thing for the family if it can help, have any breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Right?
Shout out to her brother, Brad Bradley, as well. Love it when people have the same name as their surname, who is now fully leaning in, tweeting live updates, all sorts of things. So this has just grown absolute legs. They're probably going to have to do a sequel. So it's Amy Bradley is Missing on Netflix. Please go and watch it. Right, that's your Showbiz Fix for this week, and you can get a whole lot more telly and entertainment tidbits if you subscribe here at the Sun Showbiz on YouTube, and you can hear us in your ears wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week.